Am I audible, Abhishek?
Yes, sir.
So you must answer the question that I've asked.
The classification hotels and layout.
Okay. But this is not our ongoing topic. Layout is something that I'm going to start today after finishing the classification. That's why I have written layout along with.
Okay, sir.
So let me share the screen. So first of all, we will start with the introduction of facility planning. If you people have joined, like some of you have joined for first time. So we'll be very quick over here. What is facility planning? And I am sure that you have studied this particular subject in the starting semesters. Facility planning is something. Generally, what happens, people used to feel that hotel management is just all about kitchen, service, front office, and all. And they used to forget that if we have a very good chef, then chef needs an area to work. Chef needs very good equipment or the sufficient equipment to work, right? To showcase their skills. Similarly, if front office person, you have a very smart front office personnel, that particular person needs a proper location, needs a proper area, right? So these all things, similarly, like if you want another example related to housekeeping department, that housekeeping, you have a very good room attendant, you have a very like skillful housekeeper to perform their activity, like for them to perform their activities, they need a specific area, they need rooms, right, where they can do the bed making, where they can perform the other activities. So facility planning is something which used to give an idea or to give a proper or systematic plan to build up the structure. This is what facility planning, right? If you are planning to open up a restaurant where the door should be like where we should keep the door for the guest, and where would be the storing area or storage area, the purchase area, right? And these all items are, or the things are required. Okay, one of your student has joined with the name BHMCT. May I know who is this? Because this would be very difficult for us to to mark the attendance. BHMCT. There is a student joined with BHMCT. So it is to direct you that kindly join with your correct name. Otherwise, we will not be we will be unable to mark your attendance. BHMCT, will you please unmute yourself? Fine. So let me move ahead. So facility planning is what that I have told you, to build up the structure, to facilitate the items, right? So the main aim, as we all know, that the main aim of any business is just to earn profit. So to earn profit, we need a proper layout. Then the structure should be according to the functions that we are going to perform. Sometime, like in the previous class, I have given an example that some restaurants or some small sweet shops, they used to have their working area in the front side of their restaurant, or of like just on the front of the shop. So that is not a correct thing. So every time, like, it is very important that your front area should have a very good view, right? The kitchen stewarding or the workstation should not be in the front of the front of the restaurant. Otherwise, like if you are really planning to open up the back area, or you want to keep the back area in front of the guest, then that particular thing is called as live kitchen or live cooking. At that time, you are required to complete this whole process in a very good manner. It must be eye attractive, right? Appearance, it must have a very good appearance, right? So these all things that will be like we will be learning in this particular subject. And the other point related to like, that comes under the introduction part, this not only depends on the working of an organization but also on its presentation. So what we are talking about, that every organization have some reasons why they have opened this particular restaurant, and that reason is to earn profit. So to earn profit, that organization like is required to focus on the presentation, mean to say their building and structure. Then only you can get your, or you can fulfill the main objective. So the prime objective is to attract more and more guests. If we talk about any restaurant, why we used to open it and what would be the objective to open up a restaurant, we need guests and more guests. Then to make their visits memorable, right? So to make their visits memorable, we can provide them a good food, yes. But what happens, like every restaurant used to claim that their food is a best, they used to offer a best quality of food. But what makes the visits memorable? The design, the ambience, right? So like if we talk about Jaipur, if we talk about any place that has some historic uh, things related to that particular place, then what happens, they used to depict the picture on the wall that shows the tradition and culture. These all things used to help the guest to make their visits memorable, right? Next thing is, to fulfill this objective, we need to pay attention on, yes, accommodation, ambience, facilities, local culture. So all these things are depend on two things, architecture and the designing of the property. So these are the two major things that we will be learning in this particular subject. Architectural thing, like we will be looking to the hotel as per the view of an architecture, and we will be learning about the designs of different properties, right? Or if we are going to open up hotel, restaurant, back area, front area, then which kind of the specification should be there, what all points we should keep in our mind while opening up these things, right? And again, like generally one more thing used to happen. Sometimes we used to plan, like while we are planning, we have a member of like we are a group of 4 or 3 persons, and we are discussing about that we are going to open up a restaurant. So during discussion, we used to think, or we used to imagine a lot of things. But the moment we are going to do, like going to put all these things in action, sometime we do not touch the as per our expectation. We do not get the results as per the expectation. Sometimes we do not get the material. Sometimes we do not get the workers as per our requirement, right? So all these things are being taught in this particular subjects, right? What all challenges we can face, or how to overcome all those challenges. So we'll be learning in this facility planning, right? And then, so introduction continues. So architecture, design, and construction, this is what we have already discussed. And then let's divide the guests. This is what we have done in the previous lecture. We have divided, like in last lecture, but we have learned that we divided the guest into two parts, business guest and the other guest. So business guest used to seek for comfortable bed, easily accessible food, drawer space, good lighting. Similarly, the other guests who used to travel just for the refreshing purpose, or they do not travel on a business, like they are not on a business tour, so they need the same things as a business tour or traveler required, but they need one extra thing to they need some memorable things, they need something different, that so that they can get attracted to ambience. So what all can attract the guest, I have already told you, the ambience of the building, right? Just give me a moment, students. So what we were discussing about, that there are two types of guests. Both the guest needs the comfortable tour, but the guest who is not on the business tour, they are seeking for one extra item, which is to make their memorable visits, right? So that which is possible just because of, or just with the help of ambience of a hotel, right? Structure of a hotel. So this is all about the introduction to facility planning. Now I am going to open up the another slide, which is classification of hotel. So I'll be asking question from your side, that Fateh Singh, just unmute yourself, because classification of hotel is something that you have already done in first semester. So classification, I'll be asking question just related to the classification. Fateh Singh, I hope my voice is audible. Just unmute yourself. BHMCT, again, like there is a student BHMCT. Will you please unmute yourself? Fateh Singh. Fateh Deep Singh. Can anyone acknowledge me that if my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Oh. So Fateh Deep Singh, you are not feeling to speak? Feeling like to speak, huh? Fateh Deep Singh, your voice is not audible. Still your voice is not audible. No way. It's okay. Not to worry. I'm going to open up this PPT. I was thinking that you will be giving some idea related to the classification, because this is the topic that we used to taught in the very first semester. So classification mean to say, whenever the classification used to be like people used to classify any item. Why they used to classify the things? Just to promote it very well, or like any item that becomes popular among people, among public, then the market persons, they used to divide, or they used to categorize the things so that they can facilitate the guest very well, so that they can raise the profit, they can raise the popularity, right, by classification. Generally, people feel that each hotel is same, right? If it is small, like they only think that hotel could be small or big, but they do not feel that hotel can be categorized into various types. Like flotels could be different, hotels are there, right? City hotels, suburban hotels, right? Resorts, motels. So they do not feel that these things are like can be categorized. So my point is, whenever the classification would be there, the major aim to raise the popularity and to facilitate the guest very well. So classification can be done on the basis of size, then location, star category, ownership, degree of service offered. So these are the 5 things on which like we can categorize or we can classify the hotels. So on the basis of size, there are 3 types. There could be 3 types of, but not three. Actually, there could be 5 type of hotels: small, medium, large, and very large and mega. So all uh, like names or the headings given by checking their rooms, like how many rooms they have. You can consider a hotel as a mega hotel if it has more than 1,000 rooms. So one classification, and another classification can be done according to the location. If any hotel which is on the hill station, we used to call it resorts, right? If any hotel which is just nearby the airport or railway station, for an example, right? So that particular hotels are known as transit hotels. And so downtown could be the first category under the location, and transit hotel, resort hotel, right? Or even like we can simply call resort. It is not mandatory to add a hotel along with the resort. So according to the location, there are some more categories. Motel. The other name of motel is freeway hotel, then suburban hotel, flotel. So yes, so we'll be doing one by one. The downtown or commercial hotel. So the location could be heart of the city where the commercial areas are nearby. Like malls are nearby, shops, market area is nearby. That particular hotel location or that particular location, if there is any hotel in this in that kind of location, would be considered as commercial hotel. So another, the clientele related to it, the clientele could be businessman and facilities, 24-hour coffee shop, and so on. Similarly, transit hotel, as I've told you, nearby the bus stand, railway station, airport. Next thing, resort. So resort generally on a natural location, like where they people like mostly people, some people used to have the view of nature. So resorts are something that can be situated nearby the beach, right, hill station, right, forest area. So these are the resorts. And then next could be motel. I think this is quite familiar to everyone that motels are generally situated on highway where tourists can be facilitated by the gas stations and some snacks also. And in these type of accommodations, like people used to stay for a few hours or for a single night kind of like so that like the mostly people who are traveling, those who are traveling, they used to stay in these type of accommodations. And definitely they must have parking space, because if anyone was traveling, they may be traveling through bike, car, right? So these type of hotels must have a parking space, then only they can get the or the like to raise the guest walk in. So they must have a parking space and refilling station. Suburban hotels, outskirt of the city, If any hotel which is outside the or outer part of the city is known as suburban hotel, and the floatel generally that are on the surface of water. The saddest example is Titanic, right? So we have completed one type of classification. I'm going to move to the another one, which is classification on the basis of, we have done the location, size, and let's see star category. So star category, again, we all think that, can anyone tell me like how many stars a hotel can get? 5 star, like is there any star category after 5 star? Can anyone tell me
Yes, sir.
which one?
7 star.
7 star. Can you please name any hotel which is coming under this particular category?
Sir, in the Dubai,
Dubai,
sir, I don't know the name properly, but it's one
but
of
it is in Dubai. Okay.
Dubai. One of
Uh,
the best hotels in the world. Burj Al
So, Oberoi Hotel.
Dubai.
yes, Radhe.
Oberoi Hotel.
Oberoi Hotel. Which Oberoi Hotel? Because we have Oberoi Hotel in
So,
Shimla also. Yes.
So just I know so
Like Oberoi hotels, it's a chain,
Oberoi Hotel like a 7 star hotel. Not a sir in
not in the,
also India only sir like a 5 star hotel.
okay, in India, you were saying that India there is no hotel more than the 5 star category, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me make you clear one very important thing. There is no such kind of category that comes under or that is known as 7 star category. Okay, generally there is a common saying what we used to do. Your task, I'm going to quote a sentence. I'm going to give you an example. Sometime if I have given you a task and you are going to give me the assurance that task will be completed 101%. Like you are giving me the statement, sir, I'm giving you the assurance that your task will be completed with 101% like assurance I'm giving to you. Do you think there is something like the so-called 101% thing? If you would say 100%, your statement is so clear. But to put emphasis on your statement, to give more assurance, we used to give this particular statement that your task will be completed and 101% assurance is there. Getting my point? So there is nothing like such kind of category which is known as 7 star. People just used to give a high rating or just to make the other person feel that this particular hotel is more than the five-star category, right? But there is another category just after the 5 star which is known as 5 star deluxe. After that there is no category, not even 6 star, 7 star, right? Like why we have jumped to the 7 star, why we have missed the 6 star? Because we are going with the same series. We are not using the odd numbers. We are using all numbers actually. 1 star, 2 star, 3 star. Why we have missed the 6? So my major point is I want to tell you that there is no such kind of category with the name 7 star. Right? People just try to imagine or try, or people just to make the other person imagine that the facilities in that particular hotel, Burj Al Arab, is kind of a 7-star categories, right? So from now onward, just keep one thing in your mind. The only and only category is 5-star, 5-star deluxe, right? As such, as per the standards, there is no category with the name of 7-star with the heading 7-star. Got my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So logic is this, like people just giving the assurance. Okay, so now we are going to talk about the star category. The first star category is like the first or the 1-star category, right? In which like it is typically a small hotel, and generally family members, they used to, right, accommodate themselves, and it is purely a family atmosphere, right? And then family atmosphere mean to say like no business like facility would be there in this particular 1-star hotel, right? So acceptable standards of maintenance, cleaning would be there, comfort would be there. Is maybe the washrooms could be not attached to the room. So these are the things, or these are the facilities that cannot be there in the 1-star hotel, right? Maybe the parking facility would not be there, right? And the another one is second, the 2-star category, 1-star, then 2-star economy hotel, right? And a small to medium size rooms could be like 30, like we one very like an important thing that I have discussed in the previous lecture also, to get the 5-star category there is only 25 rooms required. But yes, you need to fulfill some other conditions, like you must have parking facility, water treatment plant, and then the swimming pool, right? And the separate facility for the like accessible room, mean to say the room for the disabled persons, right? Some people used to call it barrier free room. So these are the facilities. If any hotel is providing, then does not matter that rooms are just 25 or 30. And similarly, if any hotel which is having 60 rooms, 70 rooms, and that particular accommodation organization, they are not providing attached bathroom, right? They're not providing the parking facility, then we cannot consider them as a 5-star. Right? Generally, what we think that if 5-star category, mean to say it must have more than 100 room, more than 200 rooms. So this is also very important point to know. Now back to the 2-star category. So in which guest may get the comfort, but a equipped room with attached bathroom can be found over here in the 2-star category. So little professional staff can also be present. Then the 3-star moderate hotel, spacious. Yes, it must like it should be spacious, right? Accommodation, in terms to the accommodation, well equipped room, yeah, decorated lobby has to be there to get the 3-star category, right? And yes, a business area, like it must be near to the business area, because uh, people used to travel a lot, especially on the business tour. Some people used to go for, or some people used to prefer 3-star category hotels, right? Their prices are average prices, not more and not less. Like me, average mean to say they affordable prices. And these hotels can offer the breakfast also. And then facilities, such facilities are direct dial phone, mean to say like phone, telephone could be there in the rooms. Then toiletries, the room service, and all, like these are the things can be provided by the 3-star hotel. 4-star hotel, something which has some more facilities than the 1, 2, 3-star hotel. So first class hotel, large formal hotel located near major attractions. Yes, it is required. You, like anyone, can get the 4-star category if they are like the major attraction places are nearby to their accommodation. And then they must have more than one restaurant, then they can apply for the 4-star category. 24-hour room service should be there in a 4-star hotel. Laundry, sometimes people used to opt for, I would say that for a 4-star category hotels, it is quite a big thing to opt their own laundry. So they used to opt a contract laundry, which the special name given to this particular laundry is off premises. They used to have an agreement with the other like third party, we can say that they used to collect the laundry, the dirty soiled linens. Then they used to give the same linen or transfer the linen to the third party laundry, and then they get back after specific time. Right? So that particular laundry is called as off premises. And then valet parking could be one of the facility that can be given by the 4-star category. And valet parking mean to say a guest is arriving to the hotel, and there is a special person, a driver is there, who will ask for the keys, and the guest will directly go inside the hotel, and the driver who has taken the keys, he himself will park the car for the guest. And in return, like a guest, the moment guest will hand over the keys, he'll get a coupon or a token with the car number and all. And once the guest will be free from the hotel, and he'll show the same thing, the coupon or the token, and then he'll get his car back. But similarly, like he just has to stand over the porch, and the car will be driven by, we can say that, by the valet parking persons, a special driver. And similar word just related to the valet, there is a special term known as valet service, which is in the housekeeping department. Can anyone give me the answer if you know the valet service in housekeeping department? Anyone has any idea? Valet service. Valet service are actually divided into so many parts. Valet service mean to say, being guest, you are required to stand on a single place, and attendant will come to you, he'll give you the service, and then he'll go back, right? For an example, if I talk about valet service in the housekeeping department, you are a guest, you will ask for valet service in housekeeping department, especially for laundry, and your attendant to whom you have made a call, the attendant will come, and then he or she will collect the laundry, and then they will give you a paper, a form, kind of how many shirts you have given, right? He'll write down, or he will fill the form for you, and he'll return that form to you. He will hand over the form, and then the dirty clothes will be given to the laundry. Once the laundry will be done, and the same person or the other person will return the fresh clothes or washed clothes, ironed clothes directly to your room. So, which means like you are getting the things on a single place. You are not required to move anywhere. That particular services are called as valet service. So, in front office department, we would say valet parking is one of the type of valet service. where you are being guest, you are required to stand on a single place. A driver will come and he'll take the keys from you and will park the car. And once you are going back from the hotel, then you are required to stand on the same place, on a single place, and by giving the coupon to the person, you'll get your car back. Right. So that these particular services are known as valet service. Generally, people get confused if anyone asks what is valet service in housekeeping, then they do not get answer. They do not answer this particular question because they feel that valet mean to say valet parking. No, that is wrong. Okay, so next thing, travel desk. Yes, a 4-star category must have a travel desk because we don't know that from where our guest is coming. For an example, we are in Amritsar and we are running a 4-star hotel. A guest is coming or guest has arrived from Jaipur. And if you have a travel desk, then only you can help him with a cab, right? Because he wants to roam around in the Amritsar city. So you yourself or hotel will give this facility that you will provide him a cab or any guide kind of. So travel desk should be there. Similarly, the travel desk, the duties of travel desk are to book the tickets also. It may be flight or train tickets, right? So travel desk should be there in a 4-star hotel. Then wellness center, where a person can wellness center mean to say spa or gym. These are the things should also be there in the pool. High class room decor. Now the next category is 5-star. So 5-star means it is like something which is above from all categories. Superior hotel, yes. High level of accommodation and services. So large property hotel lobby should be very attractive, and the room must be stylish with a great linen, right? Good quality of linen. And can anyone tell me there is a special category or special offer used to be given to the guests that whether they need smoking room or non-smoking room? So being a student of a hotel management course, can you answer this thing? That what all things will be there in a smoking room or non-smoking? Like what would be the difference over here? Just anyone, because what happens if people used to very conscious about it.
यस नमस्ते सर सर नॉन स्मोकिंग रूम में स्मोकिंग डिटेक्टर होंगे जिसकी वजह से आप मतलब हीट को डिटेक्ट कर सकते हो तो वो फायर अलार्म चल जाएगा लेकिन जो स्मोकिंग रूम होते हैं वहाँ पे डिटेक्टिव इतने स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं होते हैं कि अगर आप स्मोकिंग करो तो वो डिटेक्टर अलार्म नहीं चलता है और वहाँ पे एश ट्रे होती है इन स्मोकिंग रूम तो कुछ हम वैसे एक सिस्टमेटिकली सिस्टम रखते हैं तो एक पर्टिकुलर फ्लोर को हम स्मोकिंग रूम मतलब स्मोकिंग फ्लोर बनाते हैं तो ये हमारा डिफरेंस होता है.
Very good, Prabh Simran. Anyone else that want to share their views? Difference between smoking and non-smoking room. Any idea? A room which comes under the category of smoking. Okay. The major difference is in a smoking room, we must have a linen, special linen, which has fire resistance quality. It like a pure cotton attracts the fire so quickly. So in a smoking room, there are lot many chances that a fire can be occurred. So the linen should be accordingly that that fire cannot be like occurred so quickly. One point. and they categorized the rooms for one more best logic. It is a very great logic. Some people are allergic to smoke. If you allow all rooms as a smoking room, then what will happen? Then mm, the quality of linen, like what happens? They observe the smoke. All linen that are present in the room, they observe the smoke. And when the another guest will come, who would be the allergic to the smoke, then there would be a difference. Like then they will not like the stay. They will give a wrong feedback, right? You will not get the guest back. So just to separate, just to keep few rooms separate, they like hotel used to uh, there is a way to separate, to keep some fresh rooms by putting a status smoking room and non-smoking room, that if any guest that likes to smoke, then it is quite preferred that we should offer him a smoking room, right? Because if we offer a smoking room, non-smoking room to a person who is a smoking like habit, then what will happen? He'll smoke over there, and linen in the room will observe all the smoke, and the next person, and then smoke will not get away so quickly. It will take some time. And the other thing which used to be present in a non-smoking room, that is carpet. In a smoking room, there are less chances that you'll get the carpet. Again, the chances why I'm why there is a difference, because I told you that linen has a quality to observe the things, absorbs, right? So carpet is a linen, and then what will happen if anyone smokes over there, then the carpet observe the smoke. So again, like the smoke will long last over in the room itself, right? So these are the things that are required, or that makes the difference of in between smoking and non-smoking room, right? Okay, next thing, five-star hotel must have some rooms with stylish furnishing and linen. Then all modern high facilities and amenities should be there. Yes, three hotel, at least three restaurants should be there. One as coffee shop, and another could be the any special cuisine, and Indian restaurant. If we talk about, like if we are talking about the Indian any hotel, any five-star hotel which is present in India, it must have Indian restaurant and any another cuisine restaurant plus coffee shop. And 24-hour room service should be there in a five-star hotel, concierge to assist you 24 hours. So rest of the facilities are same as in the four-star hotel, the travel desk and all. So five-star deluxe, this is another category, highest level of accommodation than the five-star hotel category, in which ultimate decor would be there. And nowadays, like if you have undergone your industrial training, hotels, like technology is everywhere. Some hotels have a tie-up with the Amazon and Google. They used to provide the best example of artificial intelligence is Alexa, right? So they used to offer this particular thing in the hotel room. Like the moment you are entering your room, the Alexa would be there, and this is one of the new thing that is in trend, right? Some hotel has started this thing that in a particular room you'll get the Alexa and all these things. And next, some like tech again, like example of technology, that you are required to be on your bed, and then there are special buttons, sites, like just maybe on nearby your beds, just to check, just to like withdraw the curtain, right? Draw off the curtain. So just with a simple push button, like guest can have these facilities also. So all is about the technology is going ahead, right? And the previous technology gives a way to the further technology. So by this way, we are getting more and more things. Right, and the next category is heritage hotels. Heritage hotels mean to say any property, any fort, palaces, or havelis that are 100 years ago. The age of that palace must be of 100 years or more than 100 years. So the like best property or well known as Taj and Oberoi's, they have started this thing. They asked like by taking permission from the government, they have took over. We can say that they took over the forts and palaces, and they converted that particular havelis into hotel. And by offering facilities, the location would be same as the earlier like Maharaja and Maharani used to stay there. Like I have an example of Taj Udaipur. They have a suite with the name Maharaja Palace, Maharani Palace, right? And the ambience is as same as it was like from the very first beginning, like the way Maharani was used to stay over there, even the way Maharaja was used to stay over there, they keep the ambience like this only. But yes, the facilities are modern, but the ambience decoration are like this only. The dress code is same, like as per the traditional way, right? So this is what they people have started. So they ask, like it has only happened with the permission of government, state government or central government, depends on the category or the criteria, right? So heritage hotels, those hotels that have more than 100 years of age, right? And in heritage hotel, a visitor is offered room that have their own history, right? Yes, again, like it is very good point that as I told you, Maharaja Suite and Maharani, they have their own history. That Maharaja of so and so place, they used to stay in this particular room, right? And it is mentioned in so many movies also, right? I don't know like which room it is. I'm forgetting the name, a special name given to a suite room, which itself has 12 room inside, right? Even 10 to 12 room. But that particular like group of 12 room is known as single suite room. I don't know the name, I'm forgetting the name. So these are the things. So by this way, we must feel that we are in a good line. We are in a particular like we are going to opt our career in particular field, which has a vast and a beautiful like history, we can say that, and beautiful future also. Then according to the Ministry of Tourism, the heritage hotel are further subdivided. Yes, some heritage hotels are divided in 3 categories. The first one is heritage, heritage classic, then heritage grand. So heritage, simple heritage category mean to say any hotel or haveli or palace which is built between 1935 to 1950. Heritage classic, which is built between 1920 to 1935. And heritage grand prior to 1920. Right? So according to so this one is the last classification according to the degree of service offered. Upmarket, luxury, world-class service hotels targeting the affluent wealthy segment of society, right? So this is one of the classification hotels in the upmarket category of a world-class products. Like the example is Taj, Jodhpur and all, right? So they used to cater the high class, or they used to provide high class products, right, by giving highest standards. And if I'm correct, the Maharaja and Maharani Palace, one like tariff of one night is more than 5 lakh and 6 lakhs. And during the festival season, it touches the 10 lakh also for a single night. People used to spend this much amount over there just to have a single night. Sometimes they like it's up to their budget. So this is what happening around. And excellence and class or classy service would be there. Hotels provide upscale restaurant and lounges. Lounges is some like lounge mean to say where people can the seating arrangements are like where they can get relaxed. Then concierge services abundant. Just give me a moment. So what we were discussing about the classification, one type of classification according to the degree of services offered. So next thing is mid-market. The first one was up-market, then mid-market, which is little less than the up-market, and then budget and economy hotels, right? By this way, some people used to offer, or some people used to find out budget hotels, right? Like just to understand this classification, give me a minute. Like I'll then budget hotels focus on meeting the most basic needs, right? Basic needs of the guest mean to say comfortable and inexpensive things in the room. So these are the things that can be provided by a budget or economy hotel. And yes, the cleanliness should be there. Comfort guest room, coffee shop can be there in the budget or economy hotel. Swimming pool is also one of the things that can be provided by or one can find. Then health club, so on. Okay, next thing is classification on the basis of clientele. Clientele mean to say type of guests. So some would like as if you remember our second or third slide that we divided the guest into two categories, business guest and the other guest. So one type of guest is business guest. If any business person or businessman traveling to any city, so he'll be searching accordingly business hotel in Jaipur, for an example, in Delhi, wherever the person is going. So by this way, by putting this heading, he will get the hotels as per his need, right? One point. So these type of hotels used to cater the business travelers. They used to offer the what we can say that some meeting halls could be there in the hotel, right? And then business area also, business center also. Business center means earlier this particular thing was quite famous in the hotels. I'm repeating, the special term was there, business center. Business center. Nowadays what is happening, people like internet on phone is quite familiar, quite easy thing. And earlier what was happening, uh, people were using small phones without internet. So to send a mail or to receive a mail, to use internet, they need a cafe kind of thing. So hotels started like inside, they started a cyber cafe kind of, but with a name or with the heading business center, where guests can use like those who are staying inside or staying in the hotel, they can use that business center, they can use the internet over there. And nowadays Wi-Fi is everywhere. But business center is one of thing that is becoming old trend. But yes, it you may find in the hotel still. And next thing is transient hotel. Transit mean to say is hotels that we have already discussed nearby the airports, railway stations, and all. A residential hotel, yes. Residential hotel means the people used to stay longer time. Like the best example is timeshare and condominium hotels that you have studied in the front office, where people get the membership and they stay for 3 months, 6 months, and so on. right? So some more casino hotels again depends on the clientele. Some people used to play, or some people used to do gambling and all, right? But in India or in so many countries it is banned. So, but some clients they used to go for casino hotels where they can play or they can enjoy the casino and all. So this type of hotels are all already present in the market. Then the conference hotel, where big conferences can be organized, right? And seminar hall kind of things. Convention, again, convention conference is quite similar to each other, right? And especially to cater a big gathering. Then sanatoria, this is again a new thing, a hotel which is like which used to offer health club, spa, and cater the people who came to these spas for treatment. Generally, a term which is very familiar nowadays, healthy or not healthy, health tourism. Health tourism mean to say now doctors used to suggesting the guest that you must go to a place that little far from the hustle, right, or the busy area of your city or town, right? Just go to hill station. So these for the to get refresh yourself, right? For to get rid of the depression and all. So doctors also suggesting these things. Now hotels have started this thing to cater those guests who are on the health care, or we can say that on a treatment purpose. So hotel have started this thing also. By staying in a hotel, you'll get everything in a single place. So on the basis of duration of guest, that we have already done this thing, that commercial hotel people used to stay for 1 to 7 days, in transit hotel fewer hours to 1 day, semi-residential maybe some weeks or months, residential apartment more than like month to few years also, because membership basis hotels, the example is timeshare and condominium, where like people get stay for 2 years, and or for a single year, whenever you want to go to that particular area, you can stay in that particular apartment. And then extended stay hotel, duration of stay few days to weeks. This is also one type of hotel or categories. So this is all about the classification of hotel. By this mean we have done whole classification by size, and classification by location, classification by star, ownership, by services, by clientele and stay, right? So clearly we have done the classification on the basis of these things. And then we will be moving towards the another topic, which is layout of kitchen, right? I'm repeating, our next topic would be layout of a kitchen. Mean to say that we will be learning all those steps that are to be followed by one person or a team to build up a kitchen, to prepare like all those equipment that are required in a kitchen. So can anyone tell me if you have any idea about layout? What do you mean by layout? Because this is what we are going to learn in the next topic. And I'm sure that you have some idea about layout.
Structure of the hotel, about the rooms.
Yeah, structure of the hotel, very good. Layout mean to say only structure. So layout of housekeeping department would be different. Mean to say we are talking about the structure, and it is kind of a upside view that you can easily find out if I talk about the layout of housekeeping department and where is the laundry, where is the linen room, what is just adjacent to the linen room, right? Where is the passage, where is the area given to the executive housekeeper. So this is what layout, like which thing will be situated where, which area, or in, this is what like layout says. So we'll be learning the layout of kitchen, then what type of kitchen we are going to build or we are going to like think, and then which type of equipment required. Tell me one thing, that will it be possible that we will purchase the equipment first, then we will think of the space available? What should be done before? What would be the sequence? Purchase the equipment or check the availability of space?
First of all, sir, availability of space.
Correct, availability of space. So this is what we will be learning in the new topic. We will learn the sequence of layout, because like as of now you have just a draw, like you have just on the layout of housekeeping, layout of kitchen area, layout of a restaurant, right? You have done this thing, but in this particular topic you will be learning how to create how to draw the layout. What all things should we keep in our mind to draw a layout, to prepare a layout, right? So similarly, as you have given a right sequence, that every person must look after the space first, the available space we have, and then we start planning to purchase the equipment. And all depends on the relationship between the market persons, relationship between the management, relationship between the employees. So all these things are correlated to each other, right? So we will learn the special, what do you say, a special structure. That structure will be known as a flow process of systematic layout plan. In short, it is known as SLP. It is very important term. I'm repeating, SLP, in which we will be learning the systematic way to plan a layout, to plan a structure, right? So we'll be learning some points, a systematic points to draw a structure, and in which we will learn the relationship, the importance of relationship in the planning, right? One point. And we will be learning the value of space required and space available, right? Third step would be we'll be learning the adjustment. As I told you, sometime on our paper we used to write something else the moment we used to perform, and lot many changes are to be like are required to be done. It happens actually, right? Because sometimes we feel that a small example, that we feel that you will get the water level just beneath 50 feet, right? You need to dig 50 feet and then you'll get the water. This is what in our plans. But the moment we are performing or we are putting all these things in action, and we found that we are required to go down 300 feet. So this is like, then the money and budget will be different, right? Time will be suffered, right? So these are the things we'll be learning in the next class. So as of now, I'm going to launch the polls. You are required to answer little quickly, and then we'll go further. I'm going to launch the poll. Start answering the questions, students. And Eknoor, will you please unmute yourself?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Eknoor. Just take a screenshot and kindly forward it to me.
Okay, sure. Sure. Sir, I didn't have your contact number, sir.
Okay. You can get my contact number from the group, WhatsApp group.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, only 5 students have filled the poll. Students, you have to be quick. Palace on wheel is the example of rotels or flotels. This is something that you have already done in the first semester, students. Palace on wheel is quite famous thing. And suburban, still people are clicking on the hill stations. This is not good thing. And parking, okay, someone has given the answer. Strong layout plan stands for SLP stands for strong layout plan. Okay, which is wrong answer, students. Parking assistance facility is known as parking at own risk. Still 10 students are left. You have to be quick, students. Attractive appearance comes under the blueprint or design consideration. No, blueprint, again, like blueprint is something, it is proper dimensional, we can say that dimensional structure. Blueprint used to be on paper only. So how can you show the attractiveness of the building through blueprint? Blueprint mean to say you have prepared a structure with proper dimensions. Okay, the door will be of this much width and this much height. So all these things will be written on the paper. That particular thing would be called as blueprint. So attractive appearance, how attractive that door will be looking. How can you get through blueprint? It is not possible. So blueprint is the wrong answer. The right answer is design consideration. Still 6 students are left. Kindly be quick, students. We are left with 30 seconds. Those who have not given the answer, they for them I have given the hints. Strong layout, valet parking, parking at own risk. Big salute to this person. I'll get the name very soon. Who it is quite easy for every teacher to find out your answers, like who has given which answer. So rest is quite clear that valet parking and parking assistance is the one which is required. I'm going to close the poll now and going to share the results. Okay, I hope you have got the idea. So the right answer, Palace on Wheel, is a hotel. Suburban hotel, outer skirt. Then SLP stands for systematic layout planning. Parking assistance facility is known as valet parking, not the parking at own risk. Attractive appearance comes under the design consideration, not in the blueprint. So thank you so much, students. We'll be meeting in the next class. We'll start the layout, the systematic layout planning. Before it, we'll do the design consideration also, a short topic. Thank you so much. I'm going to close the call.
Thank you, sir.